If you're familiar with the Flat Earth Society and the whole drama therein, you'll be familiar with certain characters. One of those characters is Eric Dubay. Eric Dubay is pretty much the self-proclaimed leader, rightfully so. I'm not contesting that. But you'll also be aware that there are other characters in this whole drama, or crew, as it were. We have characters such as Mark Sargent, who's pretty much come out of the woodwork and has pretty much threatened the position of Eric Dubay. Now, Eric is intimidated, rightfully so, because Mark is suspected to be a CIA operative or someone who is controlled. The CIA is well known for putting in individuals and having them just derail the whole operation. I mean, they're notorious for it. So I can see where Eric's suspicions, are validated, and he goes over a lot of the Flat Earth Clues, that video series that he made. He goes over that, and he says basically there's a lot of subversion to what that Mark is talking subversive. Now, I don't know. I've spoken to Mark, and Mark is, I think what made Mark such a success right out the bat was he's very logical, he's very sensible, he's very down to earth, he's very grounded, and he comes off as a real person. He doesn't come off as an operative, but of course he could be completely sheep-dipped and we wouldn't know it, depending on his training. Mark makes himself available. That was the thing that I thought made him such a success right off the bat, but his numbers are ridiculous. He gets outrageous numbers right out the box. Now, he could also go to Fiverr.com and have his videos and his channel boosted. You can do it for $5. You can have 1,000 subscribers and whatnot. You can have all that added. I've done it myself. This channel has been boosted slightly because you want to make your carnival, when people come to your carnival, you want to make it look big. You want people to be attracted to it. You don't want to just have a little donkey in a wooden fence. You want to have horse rides and the Ferris wheel. You want to have big tops. You want to make it look more prestigious than it actually is. So I can understand some of that if I could be somewhat apologetic for Mark. But overall, I think that Eric is threatened, not in an egotistical testosterone way, but the fact that he's going to grab the hold of the wheel of the flat Earth and just crash the plane before it even takes off. I don't think Eric should be concerned. We're growing in large numbers. We're growing exponentially. We're growing at an alarming rate. This is an intriguing notion. It draws you in. You automatically become divided or divisive in the situation. Right out the box, you take a side. Well, that's ridiculous. The Earth can't be flat. It's got to be round. No, wait. Maybe there is the physics don't make sense in a heliocentric environment. And you go over that in your head. You struggle with it yourself. Now, another thing I don't like about Eric is he offhandedly and rather kind of erroneously just dismissed Crow 777 right out of hand. Crow, I don't think, is an agent to any degree. Crow is even more down to earth than Mark. He doesn't come off at all the least bit disingenuous. He doesn't come off like he's pushing a propaganda. He goes over his whole machine. He goes over all the engineering to how he does things. He begs people to help him. He begs people to he encourages others. He tells them exactly how he runs his operation. You need to check out Crow 777's work. I think the man, I'm not going to give him 100% love or 100% trust because, look at Alex Jones. For 2010, I was heavily into him, listening to him every day, and I believed he was valid, and come to find out he's not. New information always emerges, and it changes the whole paradigm anyways, so you can't be too invested in one person's perspective. I mean, there are a lot of douches. There are a lot of douches in the Flat Earth Society. We're a crew. We're a crew. I mean, we may be divided on a number of things, myself included, but overall, I think we stand for the same thing, whether it be concave, whether it be a 5-layer hologram. Stephen Christ, he's one of the biggest douchebags. But again, you have to be, because people are just going to mock you and tear you down. So you got to come up with a strong front in Stephen's defense. But Stephen and the NASA channel guy, NASA channel guy's an extreme douche. But he was head of the graphics department, and he was just instructed to trick everybody. So, and everybody bought it hook, line, and sinker. So he sees the people as stupid. I can completely identify with that. So I can excuse all their douchiness. Crow 777 doesn't come off the least bit douchey. Not even in the slightest. Mark Sargent comes off a little douchey, and so does Eric. And I'm one of the biggest, wettest douches around. Hey, whatever. Everybody has a way of doing things. I'm going to put a lot of these characters' links in the description. There's another guy's channel, Stars or Souls. although I don't agree with everything that he says. There's a lot of conjecture going on there, but we have to conjecture. We have to try to paint these pictures so we can understand them. Every person makes their own determination, and it doesn't matter personally, and it doesn't matter what the pro and con empirical evidence is. At the end of the day, you can stack both. It boils down to one thing: what do you reside in your what do you resonate with, and what will you keep in your heart at the end of the day? What does your heart trust? I acknowledge Eric Dubay as the leader of the Flat Earth Society, and he can keep it. It's not a position I would ever jockey for, but Mark is a threat to it, and Mark did come out of the box, and he's at the head of the pack. If he's not, he's pretty much at the forefront, him and Eric. And this isn't to disrespect either of them, because everything's out of the box too early right now, and we can't tell who's what and what's who. The Flat Earth Society is a pretty rigid society. They're becoming somewhat of a religion, and Eric seems to be a proponent for that if you don't see things our way, then you're out. You can't be considered part of the society. Well, I'm not part of the society. I'm merely an observer. And myself, I'm just reporting things as they come along, and I have my own interpretations of things, and it's up to you, the audience, to make up your own determinations, and just trust your heart. So again, I'm Jake Blastard. Subscribe, and this has been another great episode of Kill the Messenger.